Joe, to me, is someone who can deliver a homily like no one else can. With his New York accent, ability to talk a mile a minute, and his blustering, contagious laugh, it only took me 2 out of the 3 years he was here to decipher what he was saying. And now that I finally can, he's leaving. Father Joe is someone who can tell a joke like no other priest. We can always look forward to a joke every single time he steps up to that podium. Most of the time they're laugh out loud funny, and while the laughter is simmering down and you're still enjoying the joke, he hits you with the heart of his message, and you realize how sombering his homily really is and how valuable that message was. I've never been able to figure out how he does it, but he always ties his joke to the message so well, and he has a personal experience for every joke. So now I'd like to give you this joke book. God forbid you ever run out of jokes. Thank you for the gift of laughter. Father Joe, to me, is the masculine version of the singing nun. A guitar-slinging priest who rides a mean Harley and is always ready to strum a few chords. I'll never forget Father Joe rocking it out in downtown Fargo. I've never seen anyone pack a in at the Troll Lounge like Father Joe did. Thanks for sharing your talent of music. This is a guitar rock classic CD. Keep spreading the joy of music. Father Joe is someone who's a great movie buff. I've never seen anyone who can retell a movie almost verbatim like he can. It takes a great memory and a great passion. This simple gift card is for you, Father, to continue your passion in Valley City. Although I don't know if they have a movie theater there, you may have to use that before you go. Father Joe is the only person that I know who can compete with my husband for being a troublemaker in school. You've told us your stories of being a hardcore rebel, Father, a rule and lawbreaker, and I know my husband has sat in many a principal's office, has tormented many teachers, and has received many disciplinary actions, ranging from being stuffed in a garbage can by a teacher, slammed against a wall by a teacher, that's back in those days we would, to being pulled off a window ledge feet first by a teacher while trying to escape through a classroom window. In fact, one teacher, his Spanish teacher, told him she'd give him credit for a second year of Spanish if he never came through her door again. And what does my husband become? A teacher. And what did you become? A priest. So we know God does have a sense of humor. And we also know that God can change anyone's heart. Father Joe is someone who's been a willing and passionate part of our servant community for these past 3 years, even though I know Father Bill made you do it. You have served us wonderfully well and have been a true blessing. Last of all, Father Joe, to me, is someone whose life story is a beautiful story of redemption, of what Jesus can do when you let him into your life. Father Joe is an inspiration to anyone who thinks they can't find their way back or thinks they can't be forgiven. His story is a great example of God's grace, mercy, and forgiveness. Father Joe shows us how God does not give up on us. If the Lord calls us and we respond, he will do remarkable things in us. Father Joe reminds me of Saul from the Bible, because like Saul, God had a plan for Father Joe too, a plan to use him for a higher purpose. God never gave up on Saul or Father Joe. Instead, he used them to advance his kingdom on earth. You, Father, are one of God's chosen. Thank you for being such a blessing to Nativity. I'm so glad our paths crossed in this life, because it's been a pleasure knowing you. Good luck with the nuns at Maryville. I know you'll keep them laughing. You have a great calling to be a jail chaplain. It's a wonderful gift. decisions. I love your non-judgmental attitude, forgiving spirit, and the Jesus that I see in you. In one of your last homilies, you read something that said, no one should be forgotten. No one should disappear. Everyone should know they are loved. You, Father Joe, will not be forgotten. You will never disappear in our hearts or our minds. You are loved. God bless you.